Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise unto our power, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to the hopeful elect that is scattered throughout the four winds of the earth, that believe wholeheartedly in the true doctrine that is being pushed throughout the four winds of the earth, who are in hope of mercy and salvation in these last seconds of these last days. As you can see in the title, a gradual increase into Jacob's trouble. All right. And Jacob's trouble is something that the prophets have been prophesying about really since we could go back to the time of the prophets when they wrote this down, when they wrote these things down. But now, in modern times, our time, this last generation, the last seconds of Esau's rule on the planet Earth, the prophets are back once again, and they are prophesying the same things that they wrote down thousands of years ago. All right, but with a lot more understanding, given the times that we're living in. All right. Now, I have some videos I want to share. All right, and it's dealing with this authoritarian regime, this administration that has signed all kind of executive orders to turn Babylon the Great into Germany. All right, and it's gradually happening, and it's happening very fast. All right, so I just want to share some of these videos that I came across, and of course we're gonna get into the scriptures. All right, so this first one here is from the Fox News, New York. Let me pause it real quick. And it's dealing with what's going on at the airports. All right, we know the weather's breaking. It's starting to be nice out. It's the springtime. So people tend to go on vacations, leave the country. To get that little R&R, so to speak. But what they're finding out is, coming back to the U.S., even if you are a U.S. citizen, you're interrogated. All right, you're interrogated, and they're even taking your phone to go in your phone to see what you're watching on social media. All right. So all this is happening right up under the nose of you people, and somehow you still can't grasp what's happening. All right, and when I say you people, I'm talking about the Israelites. All right, because you're the people that matter. Everybody else doesn't matter. All right, I'm talking about the real Israelites. All right, because you're the ones who are allotted to receive salvation. All right, if you are a part of that elect, and you are the Heavenly Father's chosen people. All right, America was built for your punishment. All right, and it's getting ready to go out a lot worse. Or should I say, it's getting ready to be a lot worse than when it was when we first got over here. All right, and when we encountered these Edomites calling themselves Spaniards, French, Dutch, all these Edomites. right? Because that's who they truly are. So what's happening is they shutting everything down, all right? And pretty soon you won't be able to get on no plane, all right? So without any further ado, let's get into these scriptures. These videos, and then we'll get into the scriptures.
There have been incidents of tourists being held by ICE for weeks. Now, European countries making it clear, even if you do have a visa, you are not guaranteed entry to the U.S. Britain, Germany, Finland, and Denmark among the countries who...
Now, did you hear those countries? Britain, Germany, Finland, and Denmark. Those are allies to the U.S. All right? As a matter of fact, those countries are a part of the 10 toes when you go to Daniel, the 2nd chapter, which is going to bring about, all right, Revelation, the 17th chapter, all right, which in the whole grand scheme of it all, before it's all said and done, let's go there real quick. The allies of this place is going to shoot their missiles on it. All right, because of the tyrannical, position that Donald D. Trump, Donald J, DJT, what he's doing in office. All right, and his own allies. Are not with it, all right? They're telling their country and their citizens to prepare for war and to store up go bags and food for at least 72 hours, but they ain't told the people of America nothing yet, all right? All they're doing is trying to bully the world right now, and the world isn't going for it, all right? So this is Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. Because like I said, those 10 horns that are a part of the beast, those countries that she just named, which was Finland, Denmark, Germany, and Britain, all right, they're a part of these 10 horns, all right? And they're going to burn this place with fire, okay? Revelation 17:16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and we see it happening in real time, all right? And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And that's your nuclear destruction that's going to take place in the very near future, all right? This is how Babylon will go out. It's all prophesied in the Bible. All right, and it's gonna come a time to where the Lord's gonna stop us from speaking. All right, with everything that's going on, the Lord is gonna stop us from being out on them highways and uploading videos. All right, and I got a scripture to prove that. All right, because we in that time. All right, the Lord is gonna stop the mouth of His prophets, and then judgment is gonna come. Okay, that's just what it is. So let's go back to this video.
Who have updated their travel advisories. The United Kingdom warning its citizens you may be liable to arrest or detention if you break the rules. Germany's Federal Foreign Office making its own updates to the travel advisories, saying travelers that even have a valid authorization permit or U.S. visa doesn't guarantee the right to enter the country, and if refused, there is no legal action to take against the decision. And Denmark telling its transgender citizens to contact the U.S. Embassy before traveling to the United States, the U.S. only recognizing 2 genders, male or female. A travel expert I spoke with says she's concerned about these travel warnings.
There are hundreds of thousands of Americans who work in the travel industry, so this could be very bad for the economy in general.
A woman in Washington who migrated to the U.S. more than 50 years ago has been detained in Tacoma for over a month. Her family says she was stopped by Custom and Border Protection when returning from a trip to the Philippines. They say Lulyn Dixon, who is 64 years old, is a lawful permanent resident of the United States. An immigration attorney telling the family there's a potential reason for her detainment, an embezzlement conviction in 2021.
It's been so long. Didn't happen, and that was a mistake. She's been here over 50 plus years. Like, you would think that being a permanent resident is protected.
Now back to the travel warnings to the U.S. We reached out to the Department of Homeland Security asking what changes have been made to immigration policy, but we've yet to hear back. Steve, Natasha?
Have there ever been travel warnings against the U.S. before, or is this a first?
No, this is not a first, actually. There's been warnings about gun violence, but nothing of this magnitude. Remember, the Custom and Border agents do have the ability to deny you entry and not tell you why.
All right, see, now that's on the news, all right, to where they're tightening up, and they're only tightening up for the people that are brown skinned, mainly you Israelites, all right. Don't believe it, ho? All right, we're gonna get to that one because that one's a little quite lengthy. Let's look at this one first. This is clearly an Israelite woman from one of the Latin tribes, Spanish-speaking tribes. This is her testimony, all right?
So they're not lying. They're definitely targeting brown people coming back into the United States. I was in Portugal and London. I was there, I think, for 8 days. And I came home yesterday after a 10-hour flight. I pick up my luggage. I'm at SeaTac, and I'm walking towards what the sign reads as passports. And I make my way, and I start to get in line, and a woman in a green outfit looks at me, and she says, "U.S.?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "I'm going to need for you to step out of line and go that way." Standing that way were 2 ICE officers. And so it's not that they were mean. They weren't nice either. They asked me for my name and where I've been, if I have anything to declare, if I had any,
Just like going back almost 80 years ago, about 80 years ago, in Germany. Papers, please. Okay? It's starting in the airports. All right? It's going to trickle. It's already in the streets. All right? You got these ICE agents in predominantly so-called black and brown neighborhoods throughout the country. I know here in California they making some noise, all right, and they're grabbing people up, and just taking them in and taking them to these holding facilities, and their loved ones ain't seeing them no more. All right, what you gonna learn is that it's not a game no more. It ain't never been a game. All right, the playtime is over in America. All right, you can stay asleep all you want, but you're gonna find your ass in one of them holding facilities. You're gonna be separated from your loved ones. All right, you're gonna be traveling, a whole U.S. citizen, but just because you're an Israelite, all right, you're gonna be detained, and who knows what they'll do to you. All right, and that's all in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's hands. All right, so things are getting real tight. All right, the Lord is about to let this white man off the leash. All right, and he's not going to be playing no games with anything that don't look like him. All right.
Meats or fruits or anything like that. And I said, no. They said, take your hat off, look into that camera. And so they snapped my picture, and then it came back approved. And then they said, that way. And I made my way that way.
Snapped her picture, and it said approved. All right. So it's on. It is on. All right. The Lord is not playing around, man. So we got another one here. This is a woman. obviously an Israelite woman. Look like she's of the southern kingdom. All right. And I guess her man, you know, as it is, as you can see, her boyfriend is being detained by ICE. All right. So let's listen to what she got to say. And this is outside of the airport.
Y'all, ICE. my boyfriend got detained by fucking ICE. He really got detained by ICE. Like, I was asking myself, like,
U.S. citizens, natural born U.S. citizens.
Salaki, that was an accident. I didn't mean to do that. Let me bring it up a little bit.
he really got detained by ICE.
And the reason I wanted to stop it a few seconds ago because it prompted the scripture here in the Apocrypha, having no bridegrooms. All right, let me type that in. Maybe that's a one word. Come on now, I know it's either 2nd Ezra 15 or 16. Okay, that's how you spell it. Bridegroom. Let's type that in. P-R-I-D-D-R-O-M-E. And she's weeping. Yep, this is it. Okay. 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. All right. It says the virgins, meaning young women. All right. And you can see that woman's a young woman. And she's crying because ICE detained her husband. All right. Let's start at. No, we just start at 33. 2nd Ezra 16:33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. All right. And like I said, this is just the beginning. All right. These are the beginning effects of what's really finna be rolled out here, man. Okay? This is only the beginning. This man's been in there January, February, March, a little bit over 2 months. All right? And he's totally going to work. He just signed another executive order for the government to do digital payments. All right, you know what that's leading up to, or if you don't know, it's the MOTB system. All right, they putting it in the law. So if you when they ready to roll it out and you refuse it, that's gonna be punishable by death, capital punishment. All right, this is where all this is heading. All right. So again, 2nd Ezra 16:33, it says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. Women shall mourn, having no husbands. All right. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. All right. Okay. And this is the beginning, but it's going to get to the point to where it's going to be a lot of death, because it's like it says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. All right, a lot of men going to be getting put to death out here. And the main reason they're going to be being put to death is because it's the judgment of the Lord, first and foremost, and they don't know what the hell is going on. All right, they didn't listen to the prophets. They were too busy chasing the bag, or, you know, had their hair stuck up a woman's, you know what, okay, and not understanding the time that they're living in. All right, it says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. And we understand. All right, this is why we're able to show you these things that's happening in real time, and we can marry them to what the Bible says will be happening before our Lord makes his return. All right, we right here at the door.
Like, I was asking myself, like, what is the catch to, like, find somebody who you love like this? And to finally be happy, bro. And he literally got fucking detained by ICE. And I've been out here with his mom all day at the facility, bro. It's like a facility that is a trap. It was telling people who are, like, foreign and shit that they need to, like, come to this place about their papers. And they literally just took, so I just got in the car, and that song was playing, don't worry about a thing, as soon as I turned the car on. So I'm gonna take that as a sign, y'all, like, I'm not okay, bro. Like, I'm really, really, really not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not. Last time I talked to him, he had asked him, like, if he could get his phone, like, one more time. He was like, I love you, baby. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. This is what the Lord wants. Okay, the Lord wants weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right? And this is, we starting to see it, man. We starting to see exactly what the Lord said will be happening out here. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right? How come this ain't coming up, man? Let me see. Let's go here. Let's see which one. Let's go here to Matthew 8. See what we got here. Matthew 8 and 12. Go straight to the point. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. All right. And majority of our people right now, 2/3 here in Babylon the Great, they are in outer darkness. They don't know what's going on. All right. So when things start to continue to ramp up, like you see this woman weeping over her man, all right, this is why they're in outer darkness. All right. And her man is an Israelite too, but he didn't know what the hell was going on. All right. If he would have known, he would have never, because when we finish it, she gonna tell you that he got a random phone call and they told him to come down to the ICE building, but they basically tricked him. And when he got there, he ain't they you know what I'm saying, he ain't got up out of there yet. So it says, but the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And like I said, this is only the beginning. We're going to see a lot of weeping and a lot of gnashing of teeth amongst our people in these times, man.
Sorry. And the thing is, they didn't even send him like no official paperwork. He got a phone call and showed up here. It's like, men don't be thinking, you ain't get no official letter from the government. Why the fuck would you show up here? And the thing is, we were waiting out back of this building. We were waiting out back. Because all the other fucking people, the detainees, they went out the back, bro. They took them out the back. But his mom started like recording and shit. So I think they just like took him out the front. She was out here since 2 o'clock. And she said she told him not to go. And he's like, oh no, I just want to do the right thing and like make sure my papers are straight and blah blah blah.
See that? See? That's because he don't know nothing. He didn't know. If he would have known better, ain't no way he would have went to this spot. All right? This is why the prophets are important. All right? Okay, what is that? 1 Chronicles 20 and 20. Believe his prophets, man. Okay?
I just saw somebody. It's like, honestly, the type of shit that makes somebody feel so hopeless about life.
Did you hear what she just said? This is the type of shit that makes you feel so hopeless about life. Let's go back to the Apocrypha. All right? I believe that's how you spell the word. Yep, Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter. All right, when you look up the word succor, all right, let's look it up so you can see what it means. Oh, Salaki, wrong app. Succor, all right. Or succor, all right. Aid or help, all right. And you heard what she just said, right? This type of shit makes you feel hopeless about life, all right. Meaning no aid or help, all right. And it's gonna get worse. This is only the beginning, and it's been mad videos coming out about you women rising up, ye women that are at ease. All right, the Lord, man, it's gonna be a hell of a show. This is Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter, and now of course this was dealing with the ancient Egyptians when the Lord brought the plagues upon them. All right, in particular, the plague of darkness with the apparitions and whatnot. All right, so I'm gonna start at 11. The key point is the 12th verse. All right, for wickedness condemned by her own witness is very timorous, and being pressed with conscience always forecasteth grievous things. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of succors or succor, which reason offereth, meaning fear cuts off all your other faculties. All right, fear cuts off your faculty of having hope, and that's what she has. She met a man. You know, she was on cloud 9 with him. You know how the Issacharite man is. He get him a woman, boy. He go head over heels. You know, he do everything for his woman. You know, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, he ain't knowing what the hell time he living in. All right. She could tell she was completely enthralled with him. And now that he's gone, she don't see no hope in nothing. All right, which proves that your cover to you women out there is a man. All right? That proves that that's where your cover come from. All right? Cause why ain't she talking about she gonna pray and do, hope that the Lord get him out, because her Lord was gone, which was her man. All right? Everything is about to be put back in the proper order with the Israelite man being on top. All right? So she said that type of stuff make you want to give up hope in life because her Lord was gone.
I feel so... I'm devastated. You guys, I'm devastated. I'm devastated.
He probably went to work. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have to do nothing but stay home, cook and clean. You know what I'm saying? And all just like that, it's over with. You know what I'm saying?
I'm devastated. I'm devastated. Oh. My Shayla. Oh, God. And I really do hate crying in front of my son. Damn, bro, I need gas. He's not even letting me pay at the pump. I was talking to my friend Leah earlier. And have you ever had somebody ask you the question, I feel like it's a question people used to ask a lot. They would be like, oh, would you rather never find the love of your life, or find the love of your life and they have cancer or some shit, so you can know what it felt like to find the love of your life? I feel like that feels like this, it feels terrible. It feels terrible.
Women shall weep having no bridegroom. All right? And this is what she has a son, which I'm guessing is probably not his son. All right? But he more than likely took care of it like it was his. All right? And she probably had never had that before. She was on cloud 9, and it's over with. All right? It's going to be a lot of this, man. All right? So we're going to move on to the next one. And if you notice, it's all these Jakes. It's nothing but Israelites. I mean, you got Edomites, but Edomites are saying if you're not from this country, it's time to go. They're not making videos like they're the ones being interviewed and questioned and having their phones taken. It's the people that look like us, the so-called black and brown people. Okay? It's up, Jake. We here. All right?
Days Tobacco. We are at the airport trying to head on our flight, make it all the way through to TSA with an hour to go before boarding. The TSA agent sees my ID and says, well, it'll take me about 30 minutes to verify your identity, but I think you should just go rebook your flight.
30 minutes to verify her identity, to see who she is.
Like, oh, I have an hour. Can you just start the process? He's like, well, I could, but I think you should just go rebook your flight. Because if you don't rebook it, then you're going to miss your flight and then you'll have to pay for another flight. So I'm like, but you just said that it was 30 minutes. We have time. Just, do you mind, sir? Can you please go do whatever you need to do with my ID? I have a birth.
You could hear it in her voice how frustrated, afraid, mad, all them emotions. All right? She want to cry. All right? She wants to cry.
I have a social security number. He Vietnamese says that doesn't matter. So I'm like, okay, sir, if you could just do the process that you were saying, verify me, I'm fine with that. I have the 30 minutes. And as of now, I can still make this flight. He was like, well, why don't you just look and see if you have another form of identification? And I'm like, well, I have credit cards, checks. Like I said, I have like all kinds of stuff going on, but I don't have anything else. I think, what did he ask me if I had a expired ID and a passport? And I said, well, I do have those, but I don't have them on me. Like, people don't carry those. So he's like, just look again. So I'm like, sir, do you mind just starting the process? Because like now time's kind of ticking. He's like, well, if I was you, I would just go rebook your flight. So I'm like, wow, sir, we have time. Like now we still have at least 45 minutes before we have time. I am confident that we can get this done. He says, but if I was you, I would go rebook your flight. Sorry, I had a telemarketer or a scammer calling me. Anyway, so a few minutes goes by, and I'm like, sir, you just said that this will take 30 minutes. I still have like 45 minutes before my flight even starts to board. Could you please just verify my identity? He says no. I think you should go rebook your flight. My thing is, sir, you don't even know what you're ruining for me. My daughter has a college visit at 8 o'clock in the morning. We are ahead of schedule. But for
see, there it is. All the hopes and dreams, the teats, Daughter has a college. She got to be at a college at 8 in the morning. And when you listen, I ain't gonna play the rest. That she missed that. And she had to go rebook her flight. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord is getting ready to mess up the Lord finna mess up a whole lot of lives, man. And rightfully so. All right? He finna bust everybody bubble. Like we've been saying for years. It's gonna come a time when the Lord gonna put everybody on the same playing field. And the only ones that's gonna be stable in their minds is the elect. All right, because we see what's coming, and we're preparing ourselves spiritually. I got this last one. I'm not gonna play all of it, just a little bit, and then we'll get into the scriptures, and that'll be
it. Baby, I don't know what the fuck y'all been told or what is happening right now. But coming back through customs is not what it was before, baby. Y'all know I'm on an airplane out the country at a bare minimum once a month. A bare minimum, right?
And this is the sentiment of the independent single black woman in America. Even women that got men. They go on their girls' trips out the country and they wild out. All right? See, the Lord finna put an end to all this shit, man. All right? Finna put an end to all of it.
Coming through the airport all the time, coming through customs, many different countries, not just America. And when I tell y'all the energy is so fucking different, it's the airport full. Customs line was extremely long. When I tell you they is giving real fucking interviews at the motherfucking window and pulling people out of line, I have never in my entire life of traveling seen this many people get pulled out of the line in immigration, ever, in customs rather. I've never seen this many people. The first 4 people that went before me got pulled out. They doing interviews, a lady asking them a lot of questions because it took them a long time, to the point where I think I stood in line about an hour and she was just, probably had 5 people that she took before me. The person that was doing these interviews was asking the people whatever she was asking them, and then they giggling, they laughing, having a good conversation, and then next thing I see the blue envelope come up where they got to go through the second room to do a full interview. I'm like, what in the hell is going on? So I don't know what the fuck is happening and what y'all saying to these people and why y'all think it's not a real live interview, but baby, when you come through customs, all that kiki shit is they doing real interviews. I remember my first time coming from Jamaica, and the man asked me what I was down there for, and I told him, and I made some jokes because I was probably this was 2010, I probably was about buzzing when I came through, just finished partying the night before, still drunk, still whatever. So I cracked some jokes and was like something about, he was like, is it my man I'm going to see? And I was like, one of them. And whatever the joke was, honey, I realized 10 minutes later when I was in the interview room getting my shoes scanned by hand, trying to pull out my soul, looking for whatever I might have been trying to sneak back, that shit is an interview. It is not a game. So I answer their questions directly. I don't add any extra information. I don't know what the fuck these people were saying to these individuals that had them getting searched in the back room. But I was originally going to come on here and say, if you ever want to see an orderly bunch of disorderlies, now we all know that certain countries, the people just unruly. I'm not even gonna say what countries, right? They just unfucking ruly. In their country, they don't follow the rules. They break and stop. They just don't follow the rules, right? Honey, get them in custom lines coming through the United States. Yes, sir. No, sir. I ain't never seen so many gangsters. And I say that because I was just on the plane with you and I heard you talking. And not to say you can't code switch, but baby, they be on their best behavior when they go through that immigration line or the customs.
See, it's the Latin tribes are catching it right now, but don't worry. You Judites, you know what I'm saying? The Southern Kingdom, they gonna come after y'all too. See, the Latin tribes is just a ploy right now because of the whole border crisis, leaving the border open and all that. All right? You got to know how this devil thinks, man. All right? We all are a target.
They be on their best fucking behavior. It don't be no non-verbal. It be loud, clear communication, which I already know that's right, baby. Get your ass in here. As soon as they get here, break the fucking law again. I don't know what's going on, but this Trump shit is weird. I didn't even get to walk him home, and I'll always get that. When I walked up to the lady, because I see she was already on her bullshit, I'm like, hey, good morning. No response. I never, ever came back and didn't get to walk him home. Walk him home to Stokes, give him my passport, and it really feel good to hear that, baby. Not now. They on some other shit, baby. I don't know what they doing or who they sending back, but they is not with the bullshit.
Yeah, because it ain't gonna be a laughing manner soon. You know, miss travel independent out the country at least once a month. It ain't gonna be a laughing matter, man. All right, it's gonna be a very serious matter. Let's get these scriptures, man. And that's just a little bit of what people are actually reporting and what's really going on out there. This is Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, starting at verse 4 to 7. It says, and these are the words of the Lord speaking, or Salak. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, meaning both kingdoms. You got the northern kingdom, which consists of the so-called Latin and native tribes, all right, so-called native Indian tribes, and the so-called Latino and Hispanic tribes, and then you have the Kingdom of Judah, which consists of the so-called Negro, West Indian, and Haitian tribes. All right. This is what this is a future prophecy that Jeremiah laid down. All right. Okay. It says, verse 5, for thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling and of fear and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. All right. And I could see this happening, being separated from his family, his wife, his children. When you watch that movie, I had just watched it the other day, last week. What was the name of this? Justice League. And I watched the long one, the 4-hour one. All right. And I forget the villain's name, but he had the dude, and the dude was like, he was asking the dude, where's the cube? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have a family. And then the villain said, well, you have weakness. And that's some real shit. If you too attached to your family in these times, especially if you're not a member of the elect, man, Okay, like I said, what the time we living in is gonna make the beginning of us coming to America look like a walk in the park. And the beginning of the tribes here in America, man, was terrible. All right, scriptures tell you you shall long for your children in the curses. You know what I'm saying? It will be no power in your hand. And we see that in the different movies that they've made, to when they split up the families, when they slaughtered the native villages, when the men went out to hunt. All right, they slaughtered the women and children. You know, that's gonna be child's play compared to what's coming. All right. So as we read, it says back in verse 6, ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail? All right. And all faces turned into paleness, because it's going to be that shocking to what's going to be going on all around you. All right. Verse 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. Jacob consists of the 12 tribes. That's why in verse 4 it says concerning Israel and Judah. All right. Both kingdoms. All the tribes. And right now, Israel is, the kingdom of Israel is realizing that you ain't no white. You not just because you a lighter brown don't mean shit. You're starting to find out that you are nothing but Spanish speaking niggas to the so-called white man. That's what you are. And you're finding it out. Okay? It says, but he shall be saved out of it. The he that's going to be saved out of it is talking about the elect. All right? Those who are allotted from the beginning. All right? Those who have repented, have taken heed to the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and are in hope for the mercy and salvation that's gonna come through this, man. All right. So yeah, it's gonna get real bad out here for you tribes, man. Okay. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 5 verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number. And we're starting to see that. People are starting to get locked up, deported. You know, some deported and flown to whole nother countries to be in these torture prisons. All right. It says, and the way of truth shall be hidden. See, well, I tell you earlier, it's going to be a time to where the Lord is going to be, he going to shut us up. All right. The way of truth is going to be hidden when it starts to get real bad out here. And we're in the beginning of it. All right. If they taking people's phones and seeing what you checking out on social media, what you think they checking your social media for? They checking to see what you watching. Are you anti DJT? Are you anti this administration, what they're doing? You know, you had this which I believe is a whole goddamn, you know, it could be real, but this the ban on Tesla. And then you have these people that work. There's this woman she keeps coming across my feed where she's getting these people to, you know, comment on her posts, and she's gonna erase their debt and all this, that, and the third. You know, I believe these are all psyops. These are all operations, all right, so that they can pinpoint and get people up out of here, man, and get people, man. All right, we're no longer living in the land of the free, all right? This is it's over with, man. Okay? And the Lord is going to have it to where he going to shut his prophets up and judgment is going to start raining. Like, never before. All right? So I'm going to read this one again. 2 Ezra 5:1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden. Meaning the prophets will be hidden. All right? And the land shall be barren of faith. Okay? Point blank. We getting to that time, man. And this is when Ezra, he was asking all these questions. All right? And this was thousands of years ago. How much more now? Because when you read the second verse, it says, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. And the wickedness is through the roof. It's through the roof, man. So now the Lord is allowing Esau, you know, he giving them some slack in that chain before he actually let it go. All right? And when he let it go, hey, it's all over with, man. Let's go to 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter. Right? 2 Ezra chapter 15, we're going to start at verse 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And this is what this is going to lead to. You know, people are going, you know, they're going to get tired of these ICE agents coming in their neighborhoods, coming in, you know, going in people's homes, taking people out, go out to take the trash, and they jump out and grab you up and put cuffs on you. I've actually seen these type of videos, you know, of these things are happening to the Latin tribes. All right. So it's gonna get to the point where people are gonna say enough is enough. All right. Matter of fact, they had this woman at a university, and they rolled up on her. She was an actual professor, I believe, and she had posted something online about DJT, and they came to the university and grabbed her up with masks on. These are federal agents grabbing this woman up with masks on because she's not, you know, she has her own opinion about the administration that's in office right now. Okay? Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And this is what's going on right now. This is what it's going to lead to. It's going to lead to straight up anarchy. All right? Verse 17 is the point that I really want. All right, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. You see, they shutting it off. You know, they showed you those clips where the airport, they're becoming a lot more strict with who's coming in. All right, if you're not a straight up Edomite. Okay, it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And this is where we headed. All right, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. And we're in the beginning of this thing picking up steam to where it's going to go full-blown violence every day, all day. Okay? Because like it says in Revelation, the 18th chapter, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down. All right? It was founded on violence, and the Lord is going to take it out in a very violent way, with the violence ending in thermonuclear destruction. All right. So last scripture for you Jakes out there. Think it's a game. You better stop playing, because the Lord ain't. Romans 13:11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, which is everything this man has taught you. You literally gotta become a new creature in Yahweh Shai, as the scriptures state. You literally have to be born again, renewed in your spirit, and realize that the way you were living was totally backwards, totally messed up. Like this woman talking about that's one of her men. Man, the Lord gonna kill her. Straight like that, man. Woman ain't supposed to be jumping around from man to man. Okay? Cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness. Rioting is that party life. And we in the time to where people, the weather's breaking. It's nice out. People gonna want to party. People in that I need to let my hair down, type spirit. Springtime, spring break, this, that, and the third. Cutting up, rioting, a riotous living. All right? So let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, all right? Not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof, all right? And this is the time of the lust of the flesh. You're going to start seeing women dress a lot more revealing because the weather's breaking. Men even. Men wearing them little ass shorts. Man, the Lord finna start doing some terrible things to you tribes, man. But for those of us who believe, all right, we putting on the whole armor. All right, we checking our armor daily. Okay? To make sure we good and hope that the Lord is going to keep us, because we don't know when or where we going to be at when it goes full blown its own. Ain't going to be no more regular life no more. Ain't going to be no getting up, to go to work, none of that. It's going to be over with out here, man, very soon. So Lord will, this was edifying to the hopeful elect, giving all praise unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and we on to the next. Shalom.